Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be taking a look at yet another Pro Football Focus list. Today, it is the top 32 running back units going into the upcoming 2021 season. In the last video, we looked at the wide receiver core, the wide receivers, and the tight ends. Today, it is the running backs. If you guys are new, go ahead and subscribe. And if you do like these videos, by the way, hit the like button and leave me your thoughts about it down in the comment section below. That would be greatly appreciated to continue the discussion. But if you guys remember last time when we looked at running backs, we looked at the individual running back rankings where things were not very good for, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ronald Jones was ranked pretty darn low. I want to say he was in the lower 20s. I mean, 25 through, I think 28 was his ranking, somewhere in that number range. So it wasn't very good. It wasn't a very good ranking for Ronald Jones. Leonard Fournette and Giovani Bernard weren't even on that list, so expectations are not the best here in terms of ranking the entire unit as a whole. But getting started here at number 32, you have the New York Jets. This one makes a lot of sense. Tevin Coleman, he can be really good, but he gets hurt a lot. Ty Johnson, I like him because he's from Maryland, and I think that's pretty cool. I let Michael P. Ryan and Michael Carter round out that backfield. A lot of unproven stuff, a lot of injuries there. It makes sense why the Jets are number 32. At number 31, you have the Miami Dolphins. They have Malcolm Brown, who I'm a big fan of. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, by the way. You also have Myles Gaskin, who he can do some very good things, but he also got hurt. So again, more question marks there. I think the Dolphins, I think that ranking's pretty good for them. The Atlanta Falcons are coming in at number 30. And they have Mike Davis, and I like Mike Davis a lot. I think that he's a very solid running back. I think he did a very good job in replacement of Christian McCaffrey last year on the Panthers. I'm honestly kind of surprised they haven't brought back, say, Todd Gurley, because I do think he could be a very good value piece in terms of just having a cheap, switch him up, change of pace type running back with Mike Davis. I think Todd Gurley could be a very good guy there. Maybe that would bump him up maybe a spot or two on this list, but again, number 30 kind of makes some sense to me. Number 29, you have the Houston Texans. I mean, hey, it's not for a lack of trying here with Houston. They have Rex Burkhead, David Johnson, Phillip Lindsay, and Mark Ingram. Like, this unit, if you said this was the unit like 2 or 3 years ago, would probably be one of the best units in the entire league. Like, hands down, if you said that this was the running back unit 2 to 3 years ago. But Phillip Lindsay, I mean, I think he'll probably be the starter. I still think he's pretty underrated in my opinion, but he's had some injury concerns. Same thing with David Johnson. Same thing with Rex Burkhead a little bit. And Mark Ingram's getting a little bit up there in age. I still think this could be a solid group, though. It just definitely is a lot of question marks as to who you're going to give the ball to, because I think, really all 4 of these guys deserve snaps. So how do you expect, how do you split that up? We'll have to wait and see what happens. But number 28, you have the Arizona Cardinals. Kenyon Drake is gone. James Conner is there. Chase Edmonds is there. Again, I mean, I don't mind this group. So, I mean, I like James Conner a lot. I think he's a pretty decent running back, and I like Chase Edmonds a lot as well. I think that those are solid replacements for Kenyon Drake. So, overall, maybe the Cardinals are a little bit too low here, in my opinion. Number 27, the Philadelphia Eagles with Miles Sanders. You've also got Boston Scott, Kerryon Johnson, and Jordan Howard. Surprised, I'm actually completely forgot that Jordan Howard was back on the Eagles, but it's a pretty meh group. Honestly, I'd probably have the Cardinals and probably even the Texans above the Eagles, personally. And then number 26, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let's read. So the Buccaneers have a crowded backfield, but there are still questions about how effective this collection of talent can be in 2021. We'll get to that. So, several solid performances from Leonard Fournette late last season don't erase years of underwhelming performances as a starter, and while Ronald Jones is their most effective runner, 84.7 rushing grade in 2020, he's still one of the worst receiving backs in the league. Tampa Bay running backs also combined for a league-high 15 drops in the 2020 season. Giovani Bernard may fix some of those issues as the receiving back for Tom Brady, but it remains to be seen how the pieces fit together in the backfield. That includes second-year running back Keshawn Vaughn, who appeared in just over 100 snaps as a rookie. I don't try and you know, blast apart the work that Pro Football Focus does, because it is very important work in my opinion. They are very, very cool. They're awesome. You know, I like Pro Football Focus, of course. They do great work. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with a lot of this. I don't know if they, obviously, that, you know, they have been watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette is, you know, yes, he did have some late, you know, season magic, if you will. But to erase years of underwhelming performances as a starter, you know, I assume they're talking about his time in Jacksonville. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. I thought he was a good runner in Jacksonville. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section below. I think that the part about Ronald Jones is accurate. Again, one of the best runners in the league, not the best receiving back. I don't know if he's the worst or one of the worst, but he's not great. But the big thing that I disagree, and, you know, I also agree with the league high 15 drops, but the big thing I disagree with is by saying Giovani Bernard may fix some of those issues. Like, come on, we all know Giovani Bernard's one of the best receiving backs in the league. Don't even try. Come on now. Like, yes, Giovani Bernard will fix that. So when I look at this unit as a whole, they have a lot of their bases covered. They have a very solid speed guy in Ronald Jones. They have a power guy in Leonard Fournette. And to be honest, both those guys are balanced anyway. Of course, both those guys, not the best receivers, but that's what you have Giovani Bernard for, and a little bit of Keshawn Vaughn as well. So these guys complement each other's weaknesses very well, which in my opinion makes them a well-rounded, overall solid group of running backs, and we should probably put them up a little bit higher, in my opinion. I think they cover for each other very well, and as a unit, because that's what we're grading here, as a unit, as a whole, they are overall a pretty solid group. I really do believe that. So, in my opinion, I'd have them a little bit higher. Coming in at number 25, we have the Detroit Lions, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams. Those are two pretty good running backs. Number 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. I love Najee Harris. I think he's an absolute beast. Benny Snell and Anthony McFarland, who also was at Maryland. And then Kalen Ballage is there as well. Number 23, the Los Angeles Rams, Cam Akers. He's a good running back. He is a very good running back. Darrell Henderson is also there. Malcolm Brown's gone. Number 22, the Kansas City Chiefs, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Jerick McKinnon's there. I forgot Jerick McKinnon was still in the league. Shout out to him. I think he's pretty good. Buffalo Bills coming in at number 21, Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. Number 20, the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Mixon. They did lose. Let me just read this. The loss of Giovani Bernard does make this a thinner group heading into next season. So if you're giving Giovani Bernard props by saying, oh man, it makes him thinner. It makes him thinner going into next season. Why don't you give the Bucs props for adding Giovani Bernard? That's just me. I don't know. They have Samaje Perine as well. Number 19, the Washington football team. Antonio Gibson is there. J.D. McKissick is there. Those guys are both pretty darn good receiving backs, especially Antonio Gibson. I wanted him on the Bucs so stinking bad, but the Washington football team got to him first. San Francisco 49ers coming in at number 18, Raheem Mostert and Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, which is interesting there. So that's kind of the 1-2 punch there. Coming in at number 17, you have the Los Angeles Chargers with Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson, among some of the other guys there. Number 16, the Seattle Seahawks. You have Chris Carson. You have Rashad Penny. Those guys are a pretty decent combo. You have number 15, the Jacksonville Jaguars, James Robinson. He's pretty good. Travis Etienne and Carlos Hyde are good as well. New England Patriots coming in at number 14, Damian Harris, Sony Michel, and James White. Yeah, that's a pretty solid group. They did lose Rex Burkhead, but they're still overall pretty good. Baltimore Ravens at 13. That is interesting. They didn't factor in Lamar Jackson, by the way, but J.K. Dobbins is there. Gus Edwards is there. Gus Edwards is very underrated, in my opinion. You would assume that if they had Mark Ingram, they'd be a lot higher up on this list. Giants coming in at number 12. Saquon Barkley's there. Of course, he is pretty darn good. Is Wayne Gallman still there? I think Wayne Gallman's a pretty good backup for the Giants, just really in general. I don't know if he's still on that team, but if he is, shout out to Wayne Gallman. Number 11, the Chicago Bears. Tariq Cohen's there. Who else? Tariq Cohen, David Montgomery. Yeah, that's a pretty good combo. I couldn't remember the man's name for a second, but yeah, David Montgomery, Tariq Cohen, that's a good package in my opinion. Number 10, the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Jones. It's Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. I mean, A.J. Dillon is a truck of a human being, and Aaron Jones is a very solid multi-dimensional running back. So shout out to both those guys there. Broncos coming in at number 9. Melvin Gordon's there. Javonte Williams. They did lose Phillip Lindsay, but overall, that's a solid group. Las Vegas Raiders at number 8. Kenyon Drake just came to that team. Jalen Richard is a very good running back, and Josh Jacobs is Josh Jacobs. Carolina Panthers coming in at number 7. Christian McCaffrey. Chuba Hubbard is there. And, Christian McCaffrey, he pretty much drags that unit up. Tennessee Titans at number 6. Again, this one makes sense because, Derrick Henry's here. And Jerry McNichols, by the way, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And Darrington Evans is there as well. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, that's a good group. Number 4, the Minnesota Vikings. Dalvin Cook, he's a beast. We all know this. Alexander Mattison is a pretty good backup, in my opinion, when Cook has had to miss some time. Madison, I think, has done a good job. Saints coming in at number 3. You have Latavius Murray. You have Alvin Kamara. They're both pretty good. I'm honestly surprised that they're not a little bit higher. Colts are coming in at number 2 with Marlon Mack, and you also have Nyheim Hines and Jonathan Taylor. That's a pretty good group. And then number 1, Cleveland Browns. That makes sense. You have probably two of the top 5 running backs in the league. I'm convinced that if Kareem Hunt was a number 1 guy for another team, he'd probably be a top 5 guy right now. Obviously, he ran into some trouble early in his career, but then Nick Chubb's also a beast. They deserve to be number 1. But going back, in my opinion, Tampa Bay all the way down here at number 26. I'm not trying to be biased. I would have them probably as high up as maybe 19 or 18. That's where I would have them. Maybe even 17. Somewhere between the 17 to 19 range. Maybe 16. I don't know. I would definitely not put them above the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I'd have them 16 to 19. I think that's fair. I think that really is a solid, well-rounded group, especially more so than a lot of these teams that are above them. You look at, those types of teams, those types of units, it's basically just one guy and then some other guys who are playing, little chunks here, little chunks there. I really do think that all 3 of the main guys on the Buccaneers running back group, that being Ronald Jones, Leonard Fournette, and Giovani Bernard, those are 3 very solid running backs who have all had very extensive experience as starting running backs in the league. I don't think that should be discounted just because Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette can't catch the football, because Giovani Bernard makes up for that, So I really do think that they should be higher up. I personally would have them in the range of 16 to 19. What do you guys think? Leave me your thoughts about this list down in the comments section below. Overall, the Buccaneers, at the end of the day, in my opinion, they have a well-rounded unit that covers for each other's weaknesses pretty darn well, and I'm excited to see how they do this upcoming season. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.